Yeah, SM9. That's how I had to go live really soon. That's why I said I'd go live, like, ASAP. It's because of this game. What's up, Freddy? Thanks for the GI. I appreciate it. I'm just kidding. He said good luck. Thank you. Gene attack. Gene attack. FF7 boss. Oh, whatever. Stupid joke. I love when my capture card does that. It's so cool. So pleasant to my ears, you know. But I have to use this capture card because it's the only one I have that has pass through, and I can't be fucked to set up my CRT. Worth the effort. May as well open my Rumble GG thingy while I'm here. Check for the averages. Not lying to you guys. Well, I'm not lying, because my comparison says what I'm comparing to, but no one ever reads that, so I may as well be lying. No, don't do what I do. That's what I used to do, and I've fucked myself over doing that. Man, you need to pick a lane. You need to pick a lane, man. You're stunting yourself if you're, like, dipping your toes in three things at once. I get it. I definitely do. I've been there. But, like, one thing at a time, you know? I mean, unless you've watched the other two runs and you're like, oh, those two runs seem more appealing to me than Series of Unfortunate Events, like, unless you take one game at a time with speedrunning, unless you're like a savant or like a polymath, or like, there are runners like that who can do that, but in most cases, they're the exception and not the rule, you know? You gotta pick a lane. Like, even for me personally, I would say me playing Resident Evil and FF9 at the same time is stunning me on either side. But my excuse for Resident Evil is that it is at least just a casual playthrough right now, but the way I'm approaching RE is almost like I'm anticipating speedrunning it, because I'm refusing to just shotgun down enemies because it feels cheap, because I say it's because it feels cheap, but it's really just because it feels like if I wanted to run the game, that I'd counter doing it. It's up to you, you can do what you want, but like, I shouldn't have waited that was bad. My controller splitter messed up. Well, you still have your FF7 casual playthrough you can do. You don't need to like run a PS1 game. You could just learn a series of unfortunate events and just play FF7 casual on the side, you know? You might be one of the lucky few that can get away with just switching between games like that and do really well. You might be able to do it. But most people are not like that. The ones that are the exceptions. I do get it though, because when you're in school, you know, you have a bunch of classrooms you go to and you have to learn all those subjects. And even when you're in senior high or A-levels, you pick 3 to 5 subjects and you have to learn at least 3 different subjects at once. So it is food for thought that, like, when you're in school, you are taught to switch between stuff like that. And to get good at switching between stuff like that. But the thing is, like, getting good for most speed games is almost like your graduate level. Not graduate level, you're like undergrad level. You're like... For most speed games, if you want to get good, you're treating the game like an undergraduate degree, pretty much. It's that level of depth. So, I mean... It makes sense why sometimes not running... Or sometimes running more than one game at a time. It's like... Potential recipe for why someone might not be doing as good. I understand the mindset, but... For me, if I'm honest, I think it has little to do with that, because... When I do blind races with people, where we all haven't like played the game for at all, I pretty much always last. Unless I'm familiar with the series, or the gameplay to an extent. If we do a blind race of a game, I pretty much always last. So, I know that's confirmation bias, but I have like at least 20 examples of that same thing happening where I'm just last in blind races. So while it is kind of confirmation bias, I think it's just, for me it's not a case of switch between games so much, it's just, I'm just not fast at learning, and it takes me longer to pick up games, and I have to put more effort into it. Now, the takeaway from that is, well, if you're switching between games so much, if you're someone like me, that extra time that you would need yourself as an individual to get good at a game compared to other people, yeah, if you won't switch between to play those other games or run those other games, you could use that time to put in the extra effort that other people don't have to do. Because you are someone that has to put in the extra hours, you definitely should only like stick to one game, because you're not coded to switch between multiple games like that. You have to stick to one lane. I think that's the mindset. But obviously, not everyone's like that. It takes a lot to be the sort of person who's last always. Little to no execution barrier, GameCube edition. Speed the game without dying. Yeah, it does seem like that. What little I've seen of the fastest GameCube time on the board, it definitely seems like that. I don't agree. I'm the sort of person who has the lab menus. I think, no, I would actually argue that most people are the sort of person who has the lab menus. You can get somewhat better at menus over the course of just sending runs, but at least for me personally, like me going into the lab, drilling like save states, that absolutely improves my menus like exponentially faster than just sending runs. You can get like decent or like okay menus without grinding and just like sending runs, but for like most people, they have to sit and drill them. Like, Losbo would probably still be good at menuing if he didn't drill them, but like, would he be would he be super cracked like he is now? Would he be like a freak with it like he is now? No, I don't think it would be. He'd be good at menuing, but like, because he actually like sits down and drills the menu, he's like a freak with that shit. He's like an alien. He's insane. Same with Matsuo, actually. I have no doubt their menus would be good. They just wouldn't be like unfathomably, like they wouldn't be inconceivably good menus like they are now if they didn't sit and drill them. How good is watching other ones? Watching runs while you're not playing. It depends which part of the game they're at. Like, I used to just sit and watch until I felt sleepy, but nowadays, when I'm watching, I'm like, oh, wow, I've sat here before, so I know that there's no gameplay for the next 20 minutes, so I'm going to tab out and maybe come back later. Which is potentially bad, because what I've noticed recently, because I never used to pay attention during the fights, I'd focus on little stuff like movement and execution and stuff like that, but I wouldn't actually pay attention to how the better players approach the fights. What I'm noticing now, if I actually pay attention during the fights, I can actually be like, I used to just be like, I don't know what's going on, but now I can actually watch it and be like, oh, I see the mindset they're doing there, oh, that's very smart. And I can actually like follow along and be like, and actually think of good reasons in my head as to why they're doing what they're doing, and I can actually learn from it. I mean, I still don't feel bad about tabbing out when there's like 20 minutes of cutscenes. It's just when I forget to come back and watch when it's a problem. But yeah, good's also relative. Like, I mean, decent or like mids could be considered good. So I guess in that sense, you could get good at menus just off of. And that's by grinding over and over. You mean like drilling the save states? Like absolutely, but like just sending runs. Like, you can get decent at menus, but not like crazy at them. Well, yeah, that's the good thing about runs like FF7 and 9. Every run is different. You can't just copy the world record, you have to be able to react to like what's coming. You have to have that game sense. Could have practiced it first, but whatever. I think I might just be too cooked to play this today. We'll see. Brain still feels a little fried. Yeah, but there's always Resident Evil as well, so... I don't see myself actually getting up to go to physical tournaments, so melee is a waste of time for me personally. It's better for me to explore other avenues.
Are you ready for round two?
I was trying to be snazzy with my controller splitter there. Like, instead of hitting select and analog, I was trying to just, like, flick the switch. It messed me up. because I'm using the controller splitter, I can basically flick a switch if I want to deactivate the turbo instead of having to select an analog, but sometimes when I do that, it messes me up. You know, I don't think you've ever played me in Melee when I've only had like 4 hours sleep. Like, you'd be surprised how completely dogshit I am. So even if I could push myself to get up and travel to tournaments and stuff, it just, you know, it would never work out. It would never ever work out. It's not about it being lucrative, it's just for me with what I know I'm capable of. It's not worth it. It's not, when I say it's not worth it for me personally, I don't mean, oh, I'm not going to make money from it. What I mean is, like, what I really mean, I'm not necessarily referring to money, I'm more saying in terms of prospects and accomplishments and stuff, it's not something I see myself pursuing. Get up to go to a Melee tournament, you get 0-2'd, and you have nothing to show for it. You decide to get up and send a run of a game, And even if that run ends up being shit, you still have something to show for it. You still have something to submit. As long as you finish a run, you know? Like, you could be good enough to finish 10 runs in one day, but still be the sort of person that gets 0-2'd in tournament. If you fall short on melee, you have nothing to show for it. In speedrunning, you finish a run finally, but it's a shit time. At least you have something to submit. You actually have something to show for it. And all the smilers can be like, oh well, he's still faster than the hundreds of people he didn't submit. Blah blah blah. Go 0-2, you just go 0-2s, and you go home and cry. There's nothing to show for it. You might make some friends while you're there, but not if you're me. Competing for world record. Don't know what that's like. Must be nice. The goat of what? British speedrunning? See the GOAT British speedrunner. You know, sometimes I feel like you have very similar intentions to Baku. Baku is the character that's dressed up as King Lear right now. I can see similarities in the character for sure. Well, 47. Alright, that's my bad that Sinner died. He might have died anyway. I didn't see what the roll was. The damage roll. I didn't see what the damage roll was, but if I wasn't fleeing there, Sinner might have survived, and we might have not lost a ton to Baku or Leo, so could have been better, but whatever. I suck. I suck hard. My capture went out. How though? What the fuck happened? How did my... Well, that's that, I guess. Can't play anymore today. No idea how my capture card got out like that. Really? Every time? You don't even give me a chance to process just what just happened, man. It's always just like, it's never, oh man, that sucks. Leave it a minute. Well, I guess since this is over, do you want to play melee? It's just melee. Like, you don't even give me a time to process what just happened. Like, understandably, I'd be a bit tilted after that happening, and ideally you'd want to wait like a minute or at least be like, oh man, that sucks, and then be like, well, since you can't play anyway, like, do you want to play melee now? But there's no time to process what happened. It's just melee, melee. Watching a TV show, frame, frame one of credits come on just after finishing a TV show, melee. A cliffhanger happens at the end of the season, and then frame one of credits come on, melee. Like, you don't even give me a time to process it, man. Like, it's fucked. That's what it is. I'm sorry, that's not very friendly of me. It's very edgy. A very bad outburst, but you have to understand. Even though I didn't get nobles, that was a decent pace, and the capture card just like cut out. You gotta be able to read the room, man. Like, come on. Like, you know what tilt feels like. You know how long that lasts. You should, like, wait at least a little bit. Or, like, oh man, that sucks. But no, it's just, yeah. Obviously, there's nuance to it. If someone says, oh well, didn't get nobles anyway, I'd laugh about that. Like, some people might get upset by that, but if someone says, oh well, you didn't get nobles anyway, I'd find that funny. I would find that funny. Even if it was as soon as that message, I would find it funny, and I'd be like, you know what, I agree. That's the silver lining, haha. No, I'm gonna go and have a shower and then come back and do some CSR. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Some costume remover. Not melee, F9 costume remover. I need to have a shower first though, so. Shower is the silver lining here. That is the silver lining.